Hello, everyone. This is going to be kind of a brief review of, well, rant again about new cars that they're making and how they actually won't really do crap for the environment. Okay, everyone thinks if I buy a Prius, I can help the environment. Okay, it takes 4 years to get a return. That's just to base out on what you paid for the car and actually saved in gas. Because Priuses could be way more efficient, but the engineers were like, no, we need it because all those car companies are, in bed with the oil companies. There's no, oh yeah, we're saving, yeah, right, yeah, no. There's we're kind of helping your gas mileage, but we could do a lot more. No, okay. So what the Prius does is the way it uses it's a hybrid. It uses electricity to get going to about 20 miles an hour, and then gasoline kicks in. Okay. Well, if they increase that to 30 miles an hour, because most people drive in small city streets under 30, um, well, no, we don't even drive under 30. We drive like 50. If they could get that going to 50, because the smart cars, man, those things can get up to 90. Those things are blazing fast. So, I mean, if you got those electric motors going up to 50, that would save people so much money on gas, and it would save the environment because, you typically don't do under 50 unless you're on the highway, or you don't do over 50 unless you're on the highway, or a major street. So it's kind of like, do that, not 20 miles an hour. Because what? That's like the first like 5 seconds of getting going after a light or something. There's no point. And then if you want to help the environment, man, my hand hurts. If you really want to help the environment, don't drive a car. Walk. I mean, sure, some places you have to drive or ride your bike or something, but if you're just going up to the mailbox, I mean, geez, what is that, like 300 feet? And you have to drive. I know people who live like next to my house, okay, and it's maybe like a 200-foot walk to the mailbox. They drive up there. Yeah, they drive. Sure, if you live on the other side of the neighborhood and for some reason your box is on that side, then sure, drive because it's kind of a far trip. You don't want to have to carry all your mail back. But I mean, if you're down the street, no, that's not cool. So, but Ford and all them are coming out with hybrid SUVs and trucks and stuff. That's not going to help unless you're going to make it 50 because they don't have good enough return on what you pay for them, and you end up using like maybe like an eighth less gas. It's like that's really gonna help. And a hydrogen car, Honda made a hydrogen car that ran on actual hydrogen. Okay, and you put water in it, converts it, and you use it. Unlike a lot of these other cars that these companies want to make, they want to have hydrogen fueling stations, which are a great addition to the built-in one. But there's like 4 stations, and they're all in Southern California. What's the point? I mean, you have to truck in hydrogen. Just make it. I can make hydrogen in my house. I just take I mean, I can make a really good one. I can take a car battery and wires, and I can make a big, giant system, and I can make a ton of hydrogen. So why not? So I don't get. Use what we can do easily. Put a hydrogen converter in the trunk of the car. You know, I mean, what's so hard? Make a pretty big one, and it'll make enough hydrogen on the go. I mean, have gasoline in there just in case you need it, like over a certain speed, because at one point electric's just not going to do it. You're going to need some combustion. And then, just go with that. I mean, again, it's like the oil companies. It's even worse though. So yeah, we're going to have hydrogen fueling stations that all cars have to fill up on. And they can put the price at anything they wanted. Oh yeah, it's $6 for, a pound of hydrogen. No. Okay, I know hydrogen is light, but still, that's a lot. I mean, really, you could save the environment just by making your own car. And they have cars that run on air, just compressed air, which is honestly, I think that's the best option because get a little compressor going there, you're good. All it is basically two really big, and I mean big, like 6, 7 feet long, 10-inch in diameter, like canisters basically of just compressed air. And there's two of these. There's one that it runs on and one that it recharges and then switches. So when one's out, it switches to the other, recharges that one. Now I'm not saying the car can go really fast because it can't, but it's an option. I mean, for the little amount of electricity that you have to use to, compress the air, why not? And another thing, stupid screensaver, and another thing that you can do to help save the environment is don't use as much electricity. And I know people are thinking, okay, well, why would that do anything? Well, if you think about it, the majority of our electricity is made by coal-fired plants. Or fossil fuel burning plants, I should say. So if you use less electricity, that's less they have to produce, which is less stuff going into the air. Okay? We, as people, can help a smidge to save the environment. The big companies are what can do it. The coal-fired plants. I mean, what's so hard about just capturing everything they have? Put a big filter on it. Or use nuclear. I mean, nuclear has been proven time and again. Send the waste into space. Who cares? If it's so safe down here, and those little pellets they want to do at Yucca Mountain, if you haven't heard of it already, ship it into space. No reason to keep it here. Because, yeah, one day we're going to colonize... Yeah, no. No. I'm not going to colonize space. Most we're going to colonize Mars. And by then I'll be dead anyway, so I don't care. So, that's how you can save the environment. Don't buy a Prius. Because this is what the horn sounds like when you listen very closely. I'm gay. Yep. Listen closely next time one honks at you.